with a Thursday night first-round playoff game tonight over at Eufaula. Head football coach and athletic director Matt Griffith at Sylacauga High School joins us. And Coach, I know it's a tight squeeze this morning. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Big win for Sylacauga and the season finale, regular season finale at Calera last Friday night.
Yeah, probably the best we've played 4 quarters all year. I mean, I thought across the board for them to be as athletic as they were, as big as they were. Quarterback, we were just trying to contain him. He still threw for over 300 yards. He's a 6'5" kid. There's no doubt he's a college, and he's a junior. So, they were an impressive football team, but we knew, and they made some mistakes, and we capitalized on their mistakes. And we told our kids all week that, we won the first game last year because they made mistakes. They win the first round playoffs the next week because we made a couple of mistakes early in the first half. So the team that's going to make a mistake has got to lose this ball game. And our kids didn't. Keaton played lights out. I mean,
45 points on the board. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, it was. Both running backs played well. Keaton threw for over 200. He rushed for 130. And it was just one of those nights. I think Dalen Keith had 12 to 13 receptions. It was, and the defense got us stops when they needed to get us stops. We had a big turnover on kickoff return for them on our kickoff team. So, it was a good night.
Well, 45-35 Sylacauga over Calera, and your quarterback, we've talked about him all year. He's just made giant strides in balancing that offense, throwing and running.
Right, he has. I mean, he's exactly what you want in our offense. We want a kid that is very athletic, that can read the option and can run the option well and throw the football. We've always had the philosophy that if you can do both and do both well, it's very difficult to stop. It's just hard to do both. It is hard to find that kid like Keaton that can do both well. And we've been fortunate at our school. We every once in a while we've gotten one like him that can do it, and then sometimes we don't, and we play to their strengths.
It wasn't a must-win for Sylacauga, but it's an important win to get that 8-win level again.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, I've never seen, and it's been a while, but we walked off the field at Calera. I think the perception, because we had lost by 1 point last year in the first round, is that we were not going to win that game at Calera. Parents and fans were very pleased. That made walking off the fence, I don't think I've ever seen our parents that happy after a win. So it was an important win for momentum. It was an important win just for the season and then to go into the playoffs.
A little bit of a short work week with Veterans Day this weekend, and the school's closed tomorrow in a number of locations. Tonight, Sylacauga travels to Eufaula for the first round of the 5A playoffs, and Eufaula team that's 8-2, just like Sylacauga.
Yeah, very, very proud program. All through the even 80s, 90s, all through the 2000s. You're always going to see Eufaula as a second or third round team. They won a state championship not too long ago when Coach Klages was there, or they played for one. That's right. I think they lost the state championship game. Very good program. Brian Moore came from Opelika a couple years ago. He was a longtime assistant there from a very
winning program. Opelika was.
Very good program. They've got a good coaching staff. He's a very good football coach. They're very good up front. I mean, we hadn't hid that from our kids. Their 3 front guys is probably as good as we've seen all year. We think it's probably a little bit of an even match athletic-wise. They're not as big up front offensively. They have taken their big athletic kids and put them on defense. And so, it's a challenge, but it's a challenge. We've had a great week. It's been a lot of fun this week popping around, practicing under the lights on the turf, and our kids have just really gotten after it and been very enthusiastic this week. So we're going to kick that thing off at 7 o'clock and see. Talk
about the offense and the skilled players for Eufaula and what has impressed you.
Well, they got a good, solid quarterback. They've got a good, solid running back. They're not outstanding, but they don't make a lot of mistakes. They run hard. The quarterback really runs that offense well. He reminds you of a Jackson Walker, of just being a general on the field and running the offense. He throws a good ball. And they try to be very balanced with their offense. Defensively, he's lining up in a 3-man front. He's in a 3-4, and
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I mean, and they're coming after you. I mean, they're those 3 up front guys are well coached. They read well and very athletic, very big.
If advantages for Sylacauga against that type defense, what do you see maybe possibly you could exploit?
Well, we've got to get outside it. I mean, there's no doubt. Sometimes they're misaligned with some tight end sets and some over sets, and we've got to run sideways to tire those guys out, if that makes any sense. We've got to get the ball outside before we can run inside. And those are the things that we're going to have to do. And we got to block in the perimeter very well. We need Keaton to be able to throw the football as well as he did last week to open up those lanes. You know, people start to back off when you can throw the ball well, and then it opens up the run lane. So, yeah, we'll see. We think we've got a good plan. We've worked hard all week. We're hoping that the 3 days is an advantage to us. We are very, very difficult to get ready for in 3 days, especially if you're not seeing our style of offense. We hope that gives us a little bit of advantage. But in the end, it comes down to kids executing. Schemes don't win. Kids execute and win, and kids got to make plays.
Well, it's an exciting time of the year. We're 10 games with the regular season behind us now. And this time of the year, oftentimes, there are key injuries. Sylacauga seems to be in pretty good shape.
We are. We're very healthy right now. And I want to make a note right now is we had our county coaching meeting last night and selected all county. And I'm looking around, and there, I tell you what, it was very pleasing because it wasn't always so. You sat there across from Childersburg, Childersburg's head coach. They're in the playoffs. Bill Smith at Mumford, in the playoffs. Ted Darby, Talladega High School, first time in 22, 23 years, in the playoffs. You know, I'm saying the big schools because the big schools always meet separately than the smaller schools. I think that's great. I think that's great for county football. I think it represents our county football. And, you know, I went home thinking that's the way it's supposed to be. That all of it is just really good to see all the bigger schools in the playoffs. And whether they're playing tonight or Friday night.
And you got TC and Winterburg in the small schools as well. So you know, we're well represented in Talladega County. Quickly as we close this one out this morning, a lot of excitement. Today's a travel day for you, getting set for the game tonight. So what's the schedule?
Well, we're leaving at 1 o'clock. You know, our kids eat lunch at about 11:30, 11:45. We'll get on the bus at about 1. We'll drive to Opelika, about an hour, 20 hour and 30 minutes. We'll eat at a restaurant there. We gave ourselves about an hour to eat. Then it's another hour and a half to Eufaula. We'll arrive around 5 o'clock to 5:15. We'll walk the field. We'll get dressed. And we'll get ready to go. You know, we think we've got it planned out well. You try to keep kids in routine as much as possible, but there's an excitement level. They're not used to riding charter buses. Right. They're not used to getting out of school a little early, but those are rewards for being in the playoffs, and you've got to make those things special.
Well, we hope the rewards continue tonight at Eufaula. Kick at 7 o'clock, first round of the 5A playoffs. Sylacauga and Eufaula. Coach, we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks for having me.
More Daybreak right after this.